Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Blight and Banter. I am Alex, aka Mighty Mango, and with me is Richie. Richie,
Hi, I'm Richie, also known as Tiger Strike.
and welcome everyone. So this is our what is it that we do here, Richie, on this show?
Well, it is Wednesday, and that means this is our banter night. This is the night we banter about the game we played on Monday. And the same
That's
is true
right.
today. We are going
That's right.
to break down the game.
That's right. We play Arcs, beyond the Arcs game from Berry Giant Studios, and it's a game we love, and we just play it weekly with some friends, and then we get their feedback, and we have at our feedback, and we talk about the wins, the losses, the drama, everything in between. Richie, I did say I had. Ooh, I said I had the licensed theme song. Can I play it really quickly? It's very short.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, so I'm
All
excited.
right, yeah, this is the premiere. Okay, hold on one second. Hey everyone, you've got questions, we've got answers. Blight and banter. All right, there it is. All right, that costs a lot of time in the studio, and
That you and our intern have really been working on that.
yeah, we've been
Question,
cutting tape.
question for you: was there supposed to be music, or was that supposed to be a cappella?
Oh, it's a acapella right now. The intern's actually in an
Okay.
acapella group in college. The Mighty Josh Tones, and
Ah,
they just do funny acapella stuff. So it was really inspired by the intern. So
I see. I see. That was lovely. That was a lovely intro, and lovely theme song.
all right, well let's get on with the show.
Yes. Um, we're gonna break down the draft first. Are we ready for the draft share?
Let's get to the draft.
Okay. Um,
While Tiger Strike's bringing that up, yeah. So we play the leaders in lore expansion with the expansion, and that means just more cards. But we go through a drafting process where you have to select one
did you
leader
just say
who's kind of
you said
your
the expansion?
yeah. Well, the lead what's that? Because there's the base game leaders in lore, but then you buy the extra expansion to the expansion.
The
Right.
expansion
Leaders
to
and
the
Lore is an
expansion map.
expansion within the game, and then you get that extra expansion, which is like a couple more cards. And that lets you you have to pick a leader. Leaders have pros and cons. They put in asymmetry into the game, which is really fun. And then lore are usually like a pro only boost or technology that lets you do special things like add to your movement, add to your attack, etc. So Tiger, why don't you take us in?
Okay. In this game, we had um these five leaders to choose from, and these five lores. You'll notice that what didn't get chosen was survival overrides and the elder. Um, I think the elder will come back to. It's pretty powerful, interesting leader. But survival overrides is kind of um, if we're doing a tier list, probably D tier ish. You know, it's like the ability is martyr. That's a move action replacement. Destroy one fresh loyal ship on the map to destroy one ship that is not loyal in its system, taking it as a trophy. Your loyal ship does not become a trophy. And that's pretty much just a bad trade most of the time. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Why is that?
because I think it's a bad trade because it's a fresh loyal ship. If you could do this
Right.
to damaged ships, or if it didn't specify and you had the flexibility, then you could take out a damaged ship, essentially 1 HP, to kill 2 HP, and that's a great deal. Um, but this one fresh loyal ship taking out another rival's fresh loyal ship, well, you might as well just roll an assault die. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
just
right. And I think at the time too, when we were talking about it in game, you and Dan were having that exact conversation. Also mentioned it takes an action. Like a lot of the attack cards add extra dice when you're attacking already. This you have to do a whole separate thing, burn a move, which maybe not the best action, but you could, you often want to use it, especially in battle. So you have to use a pip just like you're saying. You could do a roll or you could do this, right? Like if you
Mhm.
did a move card, a mobility card with like the battle token on it, you could move, fight, or you could move and do this. And 9 times out of 10, you're just better off fighting, especially with the skirmish dice, things like that. Yeah.
or moving,
Or
you
just
know,
moving. Yeah,
or
right,
just
right.
moving.
Yeah, but a
Um,
lot of the other lore cards, you don't have to sacrifice. I mean, they give you a new action that's like better or different, but this is almost like in the same vein, and you're just kind of wasting it.
yeah. Uh, the other one was Elder, and often it does get picked. It's just with the draft this evening, it didn't wind up getting picked. So, but it does have a really good ability. Um, that There's kind of two abilities kind of crammed into Beloved there. When you're defending in battle, you may influence if the attacker took trophies, and rivals can't ransack the court when they battle you.
Yeah, having I think I was ransacked at least twice. I definitely regret not choosing the elder because it feels so terrible to get ransacked and feels so good when people can't ransack you. So,
Yeah, and then they're weak to the tyrant scoring. They're poor at scoring tyrant. So, but this is what we did wind up
so who did
drafting.
we pick? Yeah,
Who did we pick? Um, this is who we picked, and I'll try not to be too spastic with the scrolling in and out. But I was white, uh, so I wound up with Overseer and Railgun Arrays. Mango, you were red, and you got
oh no,
Anarchist.
red was Adam.
Dan,
No, no, red was so red was
red.
Adam or Bubbles who's not here,
It was
and Dan was white.
Bubs.
Yeah.
That's
Or
true.
Dan, you were
We were,
white. Okay. Let's do this one more time. Sorry, I got it confused.
as I said, Bubs was red, and
Exactly as you said.
he was the anarchist. Uh, and Hidden Harbors, which he actually picked first. You can see kind of who was picked first by the larger of the two squares um, of the between the two, and we can work on the how we set that up in the future. But yes, I was, and so the anarchist with Hidden Harbors. We'll come back to that. Warrior
It's a
with
pretty good
Sprinter
combo.
Drives,
Yeah.
Noble with Ancient Holdings. Um, there was some Discord drama, I'll call it drama, about the Warrior and Sprinter Drives that I feel like Mingo, you kind of stirred up a little bit. You want to talk about that?
Is it about the movement with the I
Well, you
stir up a
asked for
lot of drama.
recommendations of, yeah, you do stir up a lot of drama.
Oh
You asked for
yes, yeah.
recommendations about what
Yes.
not to let get
Right.
paired together.
So the things not to, well, I think the things not to like get paired together was Anarchists and Hidden Harbors, which we failed at, and then also Warrior and Sprinter Drives, which we also failed at. Those are, I think, yeah, in the Discord and the Very Giant Studio Discord, there was a lot of, we asked like, hey, what's a good pairing for these, and we got a lot of great advice, but the consensus was don't let this happen, and we let it happen twice. So,
We let it happen
way to go,
twice.
guys! Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so who do you think, Mango, won the draft? Who won the draft?
Um, I think Dan B with Warrior and Sprinter Drives really won the draft because that's just so much mobility. Although I know I think during the stream we talked about is it too much mobility? Like or you were asking like was it unnecessary amount of mobility? But I think they both won. Yeah, and the Anarchist Hidden Harbor is just being able to lock down, you know, your systems, leave things blank and open, but have those starports so you can't get raided. They're just really powerful card. The lore cards are powerful themselves, so I would say those two lore cards, getting those, I think one by itself, but then the pairing with the leaders was just nice on top.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
they
know.
were
What do you
good.
think?
It's hard to say. I hadn't seen Hidden Harbors in a long time. You always build ships fresh, and if when defending a battle, the attacker cannot collect raid dice if you have fresh defending starport. That came up a ton. We were always trying to find ways to raid Bubs, and it was really hard to find. As you'll see in the chapters, it was hard to find those because he had one starport off to the side of the map, um,
Yeah,
and it was fresh, and so we couldn't raid
right.
him.
Well, and with the
Uh,
anarchists, just to add on to that, the anarchists' abilities are that um they don't have to build as much to tax and things like that. So they don't have a lot of opportunities to go raiding, but they need some buildings or else you can raid their ships. So if they just have a starport in the system or two, as long as it's fully fresh, you can't raid. And what that
Hmm.
really means in terms of the game is if you go in to attack someone and raid them, you'd like to be quick about it and effective, but now you've got to burn at least one turn to get to the starport. And if they have ships in the system, like you have to get rid of the ships to assault the starport unless you're raiding. But you can attack the starport directly with raid dice, but now you can't draw the raid dice, so you have to go in, destroy all the ships in the system first, then you can attack the starport, which is preventing you from raiding, and then on a follow-up turn or pip, raid. And so it
Hmm.
adds like 3 layers of steps to raid this guy, which I don't think he was raided until the very end, like maybe only once or twice, but it's a pain in the
Yeah.
butt. Pain in the butt.
Yep. And then warrior, just their flexibility, being able when you copy or pivot in battle or to battle, you may move before or after the battle. And then they are poor at scoring empath. So um, yeah, and then sprinter drives obviously. Uh, and I forget if we actually. I think we now play with the new rules. Are you familiar with
Yes.
that's kind of in our lexicon nowadays? But when you move fresh loyal ships, you may move any of them one more time. So
Yeah, and the basic
super good.
the new rule is that it's a one move action where they kind of do the regular move where everyone goes together. You can't just like burst them into 4 different systems at the end. Like they each get their own individual move. It's like one additional move action.
Yeah, yeah, that's good clarification. Yeah, so I will say I love the Overseer. We'll get into
Second
their
time in this
abilities.
series, right?
Yeah, I think I don't pass up the Overseer very often. Um, I like what they're doing. I like what they're about. And you picked Ancient Holdings
First, before anyone could
first.
get to it. Yeah.
Tell us about your Ancient Holdings stand.
Yes, yeah, just briefly on this. I mean, well, one thing for folks that are newer to the game to remember is you pick a one leader and one lore, and the draft we go in 2 rounds, and so you can pick either or first, but you can only pick one lore and one leader. So if you pick the lore first, then you pick the leader. So when it came to my turn to pick, because I think I was last, I knew that the lore leaders were at least ones I'd be happy with. So I wanted to get a lore, and I didn't want to get stuck with the martyr drive or the railgun array for some reason. I just thought that was it's a good one, the railgun array that Richie went with, but I just was like ancient holdings, and I just wanted to be able to have. I mean, the bonus of ancient holdings is twofold. One, you get to lock something down, and a lot of times I'm going for keeper or empath, which requires the most relics resources, the most psionic resources. So it's a great lockdown to prevent against raids. And I just knew I'd be raided a lot if I went with someone like the noble. But also, you get an extra resource slot before you put any cities out. So you've already got one additional resource slot to hold things. And I just thought that would help with some versatility. And I think it was mostly filled most of the time. So I had always that backup. Definitely not considered the strongest lore card, but I think it's a fun one that does a different thing than some of the other lore cards do.
Give it a random and unjustified letter on
I'll
the
give it
tier
an
list.
S tier. Yeah, because
No,
I give
no, you're
all the
not.
lore I choose S tier. No, I give it a B tier. B tier, definitely. I think it's
Okay.
very utilitarian. I think it's like good in any situation. Again, you get an extra resource slot, but I'm also not winning every game with it, so I don't want to
I
hype it too
will
much.
note this is our court, and you'll notice the stinking little silver tongue that was
Yes,
very relevant most of chapters 1 and 2. Kind of a standoff in the court happened with silver tongues. So
yes,
just
yeah,
things to keep in mind when you're starting. And then I'll zoom out a little bit and kind of show where each color started. Um, yeah, nothing of note. We had Sector 4 um, out of bounds, and my start was material and relic. Your start was.
psionic and
Bionic, always good.
material. Yeah,
We had
and
a lot of
also
lot of action over here, I will
there was
say,
a
and
lot of action to come there. Yeah, I mean another reason I think I went with the noble is she's good because she starts with two psionics, and
mm,
I was going to be in a psionic spot, so I was thinking, although I think empath only ended up getting declared once, I was thinking, okay, I can really like lean into empath, and or if it comes up, I'll be a strong contender there.
yeah, and actually, it's interesting because we do have a leader that is weak to empath, and I don't think we kind of capitalized on that the way we sometimes do.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so
right,
that's
right. That's a
to
good
note.
point. Yeah, the sometimes the sometimes the negative ability is self reinforcing, and sometimes you can use it. Other people can use it to punish you.
Mhm. Okay, time travel noises. Perfect. Love that. We are end of chapter 1. This is what we did. Um, this is what happened. White, so me, overseer, got first place in Tycoon. Yellow got second in Tycoon with the double declare. Red got first place in Empath, and must have been a tie, I think, or just no second place. For actually, there was a tie. No, you got second place, but you don't score second place.
That's right.
Nobles don't score second places. So, also production note, as I like to throw in, I like the way this lets us recount the scores. I think that works.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, Mango?
I like it. Can you push in on the ambitions just a little bit? Just so
Yes.
we can, yeah. I guess leave some of the board up yet too. So that's good. Um, and yeah, no, that's a good way to recount. So yeah, we're doing where the cubes are the colors, and the top cube is the first, and the second cube is the second place. And I guess if they tie, they'll be next to each other. But that was good. Oh, and look, I did get impasse, so I was not crazy for thinking that. But again, I think that was maybe one of the only times empath. Or
I
no, I'm
think it
not
might have
even
been.
red. Oh, I can't. I was red last. This also came out. If you play a weekly group of arcs and you play the same colors like 3 weeks in a row, and then you decide, you know what, we should switch it up to be fair. It's really hard to adjust the brain because I keep seeing myself as red. So, um, yes, I'm teal, so I didn't win empath. So never mind. And again,
I was
silver tongues came up because the uh Adam, Bubbles took silver tongues from the court. There was basically a battle where we had he had 4 agents and I had 3 agents. Um, and as the game progressed, I started to run out of agents, and I don't know what to do about that. I think it's a problem of maybe not going all in on the court or spreading myself too thin. I don't know, but I definitely ran out of agents by the second chapter, which was, I mean, I usually, sometimes I do run out of agents. That was definitely the fastest, I think, that I've ever run out of agents.
You are good at running out of agents. I think
That's what I do. Yeah.
that's a strong suit.
You got to be good at
Um,
something. Yeah.
you got to be good at something. Um, as far as board position, the story we talked a little bit about this. Any notable story beats from chapter 1 that you see here?
Yeah, I think you start to see, hold on, let me see, because I'm also in the server. So let me see if I can use my hand.
Use
You
your
can see my
use your
you can
little
see my
use
hand, right?
yeah, use your paw. Use your paw. Point
Here's my
stuff out.
paw. I'm gonna grab stuff. So here's where we got the anarchists, who's come from. Actually, they didn't have any cities, so I think now I can't remember the starting position, but it may have been somewhere over here. But now they've expanded here. They can just hover in here and start taxing cities without
Mhm.
controlling the area, which is a huge benefit. So I think we start to see the story of the anarchists play out where they're sending their kind of emissaries out and way up here too to hide
Yep.
and start taxing people. Um,
And
it's
I
a
think
risky.
the ship is here to the end of the game, I think. Like I never take care of it.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, right. Because you're, yeah, and like one we talked about, I think last time someone played the anarchists, it's like you gotta spend a whole pip to take this ship out. The reward is not going to get you ahead in Warlord,
Yeah.
so why bother? It does allow the anarchists to slowly build up in Tyrant, although these four I think are mostly my people. Um, Anyway, yeah, and starts to build an armada. But we'll see that Adam and Dan build up these huge fleets, and you kind of get in there, but Dan especially is a warrior is building up these huge fleets. So I think it's like a battle verse a little bit. Um,
But
and
then I will say, you and I have found this piece over here in,
yes,
well, Sector 6.
which I think
Just
stayed there almost to the end, or maybe
I
completely
didn't
end.
attack you. I did you attack me?
No,
Were
I
we
didn't attack you.
attacked?
I think
Were we
someone
attached
came
by
in. I can't
yeah.
remember. Someone came in and took us out, but
Keep an eye on
um,
this. Keep an eye. Maybe this is
he
the
was-
story of the game right here.
as
It's just this
the
this little fuel planet
as
that
the kids say, the story of the game is the friends we made along the
along
way.
along the
I
way.
think what it was, no, what it was either someone came and attacked our ships. I don't know who, but the cities stay to the end. Just looking at it now, but at some point, either you or I did attack each other, or I think I tried to attack you and I died, or you attacked me and I died. But the cities were peaceful, at least,
The
even
cities
if
were
we fought in
peaceful.
this in the sky.
Um, yeah, that was. I'm always. I will say, I'm always. It always feels good to score points in Chapter 1. Um, we talked about last game how I don't think I scored points. I think I was going into Chapter 3 without scoring points. I might have.
Yeah,
That might be a lie, but I think that's true. Um, it just feels good to score points in Chapter 1, especially 7 points without city bonus. It just kind of felt like, oh, okay, we got some cushion at least for stuff to go wrong in later chapters.
yeah. Well,
That
usually in the
was
early chapters, you're not getting the extra points from the flipped ambition tokens. You're not probably getting city bonus, but you are. Um, Generally, it's easier to compete. Like it's not as tough a competition because people haven't built up their resources
yeah. I
yet,
mean,
and you can.
I won. I won 7. That was 7 points for 2 resources. Like
Yeah,
that's a
that's
bet.
huge.
Return
That's
on
huge.
investment. Return on investment.
Yeah.
And I think it was my starting resources. It was just my starting resources that won
Oh,
me
really? Oh, yeah. Look at
quite a bit.
that. I didn't know that.
So the return on investment, 3.5
Yeah.
points per resource. That's pretty good.
Well, that's the thing too. And I mean, even though I lost Empath because I couldn't score second, um, and Bubbles got it because they got that they outbid me on the court for the Silver Tongues. I started with 2 psionics and must have spent them somehow, thinking I get them back. But either way, I started out heavy for Empath, and so especially that first chapter, everyone starts out kind of ahead in one spot, and if they can get ahead or keep it like you did, that's amazing. Yeah, it's just 7 points from 2 resources that you started with. I think that's the biggest return for investment I've ever seen in any of the ambitions.
Well, maybe we'll keep an eye on that for later
Yeah.
games. Okay, this is our chapter 1. Time travel now with us to chapter 2.
Oh,
Thank you. Little late on that one, but
little
we got there. Uh,
time travel's
uh,
hard.
Before I zoom us all the way in, I will note. Sorry, what?
Oh, it's getting a little choppy. Hold on. If you can hear me, it's just a little choppy.
I can,
Give us.
yeah, I
Oh,
can
we're
hear
synced
you
back
now.
up. That was the time ripple. It's dangerous traveling through time,
That's
and you guys got caught
butter.
up in it. But I'm
You
glad you're
know,
safe.
Ashton Kutcher made a really good documentary called
Oh
The
my
Butterfly
god!
Effect. The
Okay, don't bring
Butterfly
up that movie.
Effect.
Don't bring up that movie.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm saying it's way too serious a movie for Ashton Kutcher to be in. That's all
It
I'm
is
saying.
very, yeah, yeah. But
It's
also that
dark.
movie was
It's
supposed to
dark.
be
It's dark,
forgotten.
isn't it?
Yeah, I've never seen it because the trailer was enough. But I'll take your word for it.
Wow. It affected me as a youth, I think.
Oh, there are dumb movies that I saw growing up that you would see and be like, "What were you thinking?" And even the older me would be like, "What were you thinking?" But so I'm not judging, but that was a different generation for me.
different, different generation. Okay. Chapter 2. I'll zoom in here in a second, but I'll note that you don't see Silver Tongues out, and this loyal empaths that was mine is no longer mine. So I got Loyal Empath stolen with the Silver Tongue. There's some irony to that because they're both empath cards, suits. But that was a shame. You'll notice a bard size hole in your court
Yes.
down
Yeah.
here because the bards
That is
have
very
abandoned
accurate.
you to go to the warrior. But you're building up some loyal marines and some court enforcers.
Yeah,
Which
I've never
if
really.
nothing else, that's 6 ships, so that's good.
And it's funny, the loyal cards, which all are for the different suits, but allow you to kind of convert any resource to the specific resource of the suit. I've never really used them historically, but this game I did use them, and we can talk about that when that happens. But I was kind of excited to have one for once. I was not excited to lose Bard. One of my abilities as Noble is every time I declare an ambition, I get a card. I think one of the biggest lessons I've had for Noble is, oh my god, look at this court in the background there. Look at that. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. Can you point that out? That court's crazy. um.
All
Anyway,
this craziness here.
look at all those agents. Yeah. Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
like
it's not. It is
over
crazy.
2 cards. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, the magic of the court is something for a whole nother time. But so about the noble, you get a card from the top of the court deck without competition if I declare an ambition, and Bard allows you to declare ambitions outside of leading, so you can kind of declare it twice in one turn, which I think I may have. The lesson I'd say for anyone playing the noble is just because you can get cool cards doesn't mean you'll keep them. And if you get cool cards, that means other people now can see what cool card you got, and they don't have to waste time in the court to get them. They can get it while they're getting a warlord, so they can get all these trophies, that they want down here. But they can also be stealing your cards, which is exactly what happened. So lesson learned. You just
Sure.
gotta. I don't know how the best way to pace it, but just people will come for you, so you've got to be prepared. So also probably don't stretch yourself thin. That's my
Yeah,
rant.
it's good.
Sorry.
It's good advice. Um, good. The breakdown was Tycoon. I was able to secure the cartel and secure cartel, or sorry, secure Tycoon victory for 6 points with my city bonus. And then second place went to Dan, and Warlord went to you, Mango, with that was 10 points, but
Yeah, I think losing you at one more
it
time.
was a lot.
The
Uh,
interference is kicking up. Hold on a
um,
second.
and then Keeper went to with no second place. Um,
Yeah, so that's the wrap up. We got Warlord with just, I think, a crazy amount of ships in everyone's pile here for just to be in chapter 2. Uh, like usually Warlord's declared, but not so battered and bruised. So I think that's part of the dynamic going here. And then you had some insight about Tyrant.
yes, you'll notice it's not scored here in chapter 2, but Bubs with red has 7 agents, so it's going to be really hard to catch them. So our goal in chapter 3 is going to be to declare Tyrant at a lower point value, because the worst thing that we could do is let it go to chapter 4, where he gets that 9 plus city bonus objective, right?
Yes.
So
And I think between
that's
him and you guys have most, if not all, of my um, agents. So I would like them back.
you would like. So yeah, Mango has a incentive to declare Tyrant, uh, just to get his own stuff back, and then the rest of the table wants to declare Tyrant to minimize Red's points. And also, if you're Red in this situation, you want to uh, not do that. You want to either declare it as soon as possible to get the most points, or if you can get in a situation where you can declare that last ambition so that Tyrant is not declared, do that as well. So,
Yeah.
um,
And the
yeah, you can do that with really captives and trophies are the 2 ambitions you can kind of bank for chapter 3.
Right. And the last thing I just want to point out is to your point about what Adam, what Bubbles, who's playing red player, is thinking. If you could point out, I think the leftmost system that's psionic and the lower right, you can see that fuel system. Yeah, those are open spots to build cities. He still has to get out his last two cities to get the city power bonus. But as anarchist, if he builds his cities there, he can no longer tax there. So that puts him out of empath as well. So that's the kind of the dicey nature of anarchists is if he builds the cities, then one, they're a target for other people to come tax and raid, or at least tax with hidden harbors, but two, he can no longer tax there as well. So
Very, very true. Very
something to
true.
watch for.
I will say, I think I said this before, so sorry if this is a repeat, but your board looks pretty torn up. I will say, like,
Thank you.
yeah.
No,
Well, I think that I see a
it
lot of teal
is.
ships in what was my system, so I think there must have been some violence against me here.
Yes,
Uh,
I have a. If you look in the lower left on Teal's board, player board, I have like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different people,
you were,
but including your cities. And then if you look up your board, you have a lot of my ships.
which I think
So I
came
think,
from either defense or me kind of counterattacking.
yeah,
Um,
I think it was a mixture of both, but it was in that system. You're right, and I was looking to make a play to get Relic up and going there, and also get the rest of my cities out.
yeah, so I think if you look like I don't have a great board position, but I'm at least centralized where I have a group of
Yes.
ships and two cities to take care of. Um, you could argue that I should have a starport somewhere. But red loves to be decentralized, but your board is
I'm all
kind
over
of
the place. Yeah.
disheveled going into, and Dan is pretty organized. Like Dan is just in this top half and with
Yeah.
starports with mobility can quickly get back to defend if they need to. Um, I don't know. It's just something of note going into chapter 3.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, and actually, here, if is this the scoring has gone through? I assume is that
Yep, this
full
is
score.
after we scored. Yep.
So already you're pulling out ahead of the group here, which is great. And I think yeah, board presence wise, like I went for certain things, but definitely stretched thin.
Yeah. All right. We travel on to chapter 3.
Trying something different. Boop.
I don't think the mic picked up a lot of that.
Boop.
Okay. Okay.
I think we're good. I think we
Okay.
got it. I don't know if you heard it, but the people at home did.
The people heard it. The people heard it. Um, and that's what's important. Okay. Now we have chapter 3. And here's where, in my mind, I'm biased. So you kind of get my biased nature. Um, this chapter kind of fell apart for White. Everybody kind of got their first place except for me. I was left with one second place. And so I really felt kind of I'm still in second place overall, but it felt like a pretty hard chapter where I was grinding and pushing and striving and just wound up with
Mm,
one second place. And that just, I'm sure everyone who's played ARCs has had that happen. But I just wanted to note that where it was like sometimes you try your best and you just wind up with 3 points to show for it, and everyone else got like 10 plus points, and it's just kind of like, oh well, that was a hard chapter. So I will note that that was
yeah.
how I was kind of feeling.
Can you
Uh,
push in a little bit on the map? I mean, I think it's okay if we
I
lose the cards. I
can
just wanted to.
push anything of note to go around. Nope, we have
Yeah, that's good.
stuff.
That's
All
good.
right.
That's good. Oh yeah, yeah, that was good. Oh, back up a little bit. Yeah, just to get the player boards.
Okay.
But if you just see a little bit of more yellow's board also. Well, you can see there 9 warlord. Dan had racked up 9 warlord ports. So at the beginning of this of chapter 3, we all got our stuff back from the prior chapter warlord fight you saw. But here Dan really stuck with warlord while everyone else really, you know, backed off. But he's got
Yep.
all of, have a bunch of my ships and a bunch of Bubbles' ships, red and blue there. So that really, messes with the board presence and our ability to stay strong. You can see in the lower right, the weapon system. You've got a ship down there, Tiger, where Bubbles has nothing. Bubbles actually only has like 4 ships on the board, 5. Uh, you know, I've built up a little bit of a fleet, but a lot of it is in Dan's trophy pile there. So just and luckily Warlords declared, so I'll get that back. But we weren't competing in it, and it was also I think Dan just made some aggressive moves that round to go pick up a lot of ships. But he's now kind of out of the right side of the board as far as ship presence goes. But remember, he has Warrior, so he can move on battle, copy pivots, and he's also got the Splinter Drive, so he can also move again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I built up
that's
those ships on the right for the keeper, and I managed to secure keeper first place and have
yeah,
both
you
and have the city power bonus, so get all the city out. So things are looking
yeah.
good for me and keeper. I wonder if that will change.
I mean, who could say? Who could say?
Who could say?
Um, yeah, you crushed keeper with for a full 4 points plus your 5 city bonus. And predictably, red capitalized on tyrant,
The tyrant, yeah.
and that they wound up with 10, most of yours, I will say,
Yeah.
um, captives, and they got their full 10 points for it. So they got their 5 plus 5, which also put them ahead of the pack by kind of worrying, 5 points going into chapter 4. That's significant.
Yeah,
Um,
27's right there.
27's right there. That's a great point. You're on 21. You need 6 points. I mean, if everyone else is fighting and tying over ambitions, you're pretty confident you can get 6 points and end the game. That's a great call out.
And I think
And
this is
then
when we knew. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think this is when we had a discussion about, like chapter 4 is where it's going to end, because obviously uh, Bubbles was so close it actually could end with just one ambition scored, even second place. But also everyone else was close enough with a couple scores they could jump ahead to. But I think we really felt Dan had a strong edge here, although now his tyrants are going to be cleared, the warlord's going to be cleared.
Bubs had a strong edge.
Bubbles has a strong position. Red player Bubbles had a strong position, but after this, tyrants cleared, warlords cleared. The clearing in the ambitions is huge because you got to start back all over, and you don't
Mhm.
necessarily have the space. And also, given his board presence, I think then that's when he talked about, when we were recapping the game, where he was worried because he had only 4 or 5 ships out there. A couple cities would be coming back, I think, this turn with Warlord clearing. So it was going to be, you talked a lot about board position with the last chapter. His board position, not strong, and you kind of have a similar board position, even a little better than you did last time. But your
Yeah,
upper right area is well defended, and you even have some good, double ship clusters out there. Yeah,
but
and our little
this
peace among us, peace among
pe-
friends.
peace in our time. We have
Yeah,
this fuel planet at Gate 6, just
yeah.
very harmonious.
They've developed
I'm
a whole
actually
nother culture, just
a
around
whole
peace
culture.
and
I'm loving that. If you have, what if like you stay peaceful for a round where there's no combat?
yeah.
Those both become free cities, and your city gets taken off the board.
Oh, that's an interesting, yeah, like a threat to, like, you can live free for a little bit, but if you do, you get your city lost. Yeah. I
Well,
thought
no,
you were
I
gonna
think it's
say that
for
they develop their own holidays and you like get to celebrate them, but like
okay. Well,
like a weird Star Trek episode where they like find this planet and there's like these people who've been living and they're blue and white and you're like, the blue and white people. No, all right. Well,
well,
there is a Star Trek episode where people have half color. It's very strange, but anyway, I like your idea better,
okay.
more
We're
practical.
gonna we're well. You thought it was a disincentive. I'm saying it's an incentive because You
Oh, you
now have
can
a
tax
free
the free
city,
cities. Yeah.
and your city is now scrapped. So now it's easier for you to score
You're
city bonus.
scrapping. Okay, I like it.
So
Yeah.
it's not returning to your board; it is
Yeah.
removed from
All
the board.
right. Oh, they become free. They become liberated. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
become liberated from
I
these
like it.
nationalist bonds that hold us back. Um,
I love it.
but anyway,
That's a good house rule. Yeah, let's tweak that. Let's keep that on the back burner. I like it.
okay, for maybe it has to be like 2 chapters. We were at peace for a long time there.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were gonna say if you're peace for the whole game that you kind of now started a new civilization, But I like the in game actually making a game mechanic. But yeah, let's keep this on the
Okay, we will onwards, and upwards. Um, you have a very commanding keeper lead here, and keeper and empath are the two ambitions that I feel carry from chapter to chapter the best.
hmm
Um, the other ones obviously get reset, like a hard reset, but even Tycoon often gets reset. Like Tycoon is not something that is really secure for me right now
yeah,
because one 2 key raid and my cartel is gone, right? So
right. Well,
um
the cartels changed it, right? Because at the end, you have to turn all your stuff over to the cartel. So, like with Psionic and Keeper, there's no card that's like, all right, everybody, give me all your resources. But
yeah,
with the cartels, it's like, all right, time to collect them. Much like Warlord and This is a very good point. Much like Warlord and Tyrant, there's a reset once those cards are out. But also, those cards can easily be stolen and change hands, as often
yeah,
happens.
yeah. There's no like shipping interest and mining interest, those cards that
Right?
make you to kind of again suck all of the material onto your player board.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good
which
point. Yeah,
will
there's not.
swing.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think there is in Bladed Reach, but um, there's not for Relic or Psionic. So
yeah.
my
You can
recommendation,
hold on to
if
them. Yeah. Yeah.
you can hold on to them,
Who did I
if you
have? What did I
are,
have in the holdings? Can you scroll down? Oh, another.
oh,
Hey, look at that!
spoilers, you had
I
all of
had
them.
all of them. I had all of them.
Mango,
What
you
was
had
I
them all.
thinking? No wonder. All
I
right.
don't know what you were thinking. Um,
From my
yeah, I would just
grasp,
like this is a really strong position for
all
teal
of them. I
because
was a relic cartel.
you
Oh,
some introspection. You have to do
this
some
is where I
introspection.
put the story element. Like the Cole and Kevin, they talk about like the stories in the game and the arcs as a story and chapters, and it's all very story themed. Like I was like, I don't know, my civilization, we were worshiping relics. Like we were an ancient civilization, and I was a noble that was trying to lead us as we found these ancient relics of our past throughout the galaxy that brought us power. Like that's the type of thing yeah, look at that. Double city right there. It's our stronghold. We actually left the psionic stronghold on the left side. We vacated, or were forced to vacate. Refugees,
All right.
lost
Well,
without. All right, okay, yeah, all right.
let's
That's
not play the violin too loudly because you're on my starting city right there.
oh,
So
okay, all right. That's
you had to
hey, you got it. It's
displace
all about the
me.
relics.
Hmm.
It's for the relic. Fair enough.
Um, bottom line, relics and psionics, they're great to have in large quantities because they
Yeah.
carry from chapter to chapter. Okay, so now we're going to go into the middle of chapter 3 where something interesting has happened.
What has happened? Do,
Mango, what happened to all your relics?
do. They're gone, except for the ancient holdings. I knew that would pay
I
off.
I think you
Um,
forgot about
I
honestly, I'm pretty
forgot.
sure you forgot it was there.
No, I think I think what actually happened was I was gonna get rid of it, but then someone was like, "You don't need to do that extra thing," and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll get rid." Yeah. So
When I have ancient holdings, I honestly usually just forget that the resource is on ancient
yes, yeah,
holdings.
right.
So
That's probably what happened. So I got a city back from the warlord thing. What I moved my ships up. We were doing some fighting above the relics on the right there, but I don't have any spoils for it. I thought I did you is there more to this? I feel like I'm missing something because
I don't think we need to get into the actual play of what
was this
happened.
chapter 4? Is this the end of chapter 4?
This is the beginning of chapter 4.
Okay.
Beginning of chapter This is the beginning of chapter 4.
All right.
We've
But the
have 1 card played.
so I had loyal, what is that? Loyal
No,
like
you have lettuce spies and loyal
loyal
pilots.
pilots. I had loyal
Yep,
pilots. So basically I burned all my relics into
for
I
fuel.
did some securing, I think with one, but then all the rest were fuel. So I could move around the board and fight people.
Yes.
And this was because Dan, who's yellow, had 3 in Warlord, and um Tiger and White had 2, but it was high points. It was 9. I was like, I can get all my ships out. I can get that Warlord. Um, so I converted all the resources, and I think in my mind I was also like, I have 2 cities in a relic city. I thought at some point I had relic fence, or I was going to get it, or maybe that was last game. But in my like the oh, that's your
This
hand.
is nice
Yeah. So
because
yeah,
this
so I
is
had
your
the
hand.
taxes. Yeah, that's my hand. So I had the taxes, and I was like, I think I can pull this off. But I agree. At the time, for anyone that's watched the stream, Tiger goes, "I'm gonna clip that," like, which I think was the first in real time, and by clipping it, saved the position. But he's like, "I want to save that. We're gonna talk about that later." Um, which I don't know. At that point, I felt, it's never good when someone says that. Like, let's talk about that later. Let's talk about what you just did later on. We're not going to do this here in front of everyone, but when we get to it later, we're going to break that down.
We're gonna break
Um,
that down. I think it deserves to be broken down because I think it's a trap that's easy to fall into in Arcs, the board game. Uh, because and here's the trap, is like when someone else puts the 9 on the board,
yeah, chasing that
it's
dragon.
big eyes, like everyone's like, um, kind of someone used the analogy, a little kid's soccer game. Everyone's running toward the ball. No one
Right.
stays in there. It's everyone's
Right.
just
Oh, that's a very good analogy. Yeah. Yeah. Just play your
um,
position. Yeah.
I think you would have been equally as strong, or probably stronger, if you would have realized like, "Oh, cool. My goal now is to seize or do something and declare the next ambition to be keeper."
Hmm.
Um, and that's only 3 points difference, and you have that, like, locked down, no one's touching that. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that would have really changed the dynamic of how you were looking at the chapter 4, because now you're like, I'm guaranteed to
Right.
score
Right.
11 points because we'll say you get your last city out, and then maybe I get
Which
second
I
place
do.
in Warlord, or something else, like, depending on where this ambition marker goes. Um, I just think that in the
Yeah.
I just think you have to, um, execute that, like, one thing you're good at, do that really well, especially in that later chapters.
Yeah. I think you're right. That's a very good point. And you have to see ahead kind of to be like, no, I'm going to wait. And I think we discussed this at the time for anyone that wants to go back and watch the whole live stream. But, um, you were like, we're going to talk about that later. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And then, I was able to get Keeper back. And I think your point was, and I'm looking at it now, it was the 6. So like what you're saying sort of happened anyway. Like the 6 came out for Keeper. I got Keeper back. But what there's just a whole opportunity cost there that's a variety of options where, um, you know, had because I end up, not to jump ahead too much, but I end up losing Warlord, but maybe I could have got Tyrant or something. Like if I had kept the relics, if I had kept the relics, I wouldn't need to tax to get the relics back. I could tax to get other people's stuff and their people, and or use a relic or two to secure a card with people on. Although at this point in the game, we showed earlier on there were like 8 agents on a card, but by this point the agents kind of died down a little. But regardless, I could have used the action pips that I had, and especially the 2 tax cards, which are pretty nice cards, towards um taxing, if I had like stayed focused on like, okay, just keep a keeper, Just don't worry about Warlord because that's not your strong suit, and just try to get Tyrant out or even Empath out, get back in there or something like that. Because I think the other card I had was uh, a relic card, right? Or was it Yeah, it was a psionic. So yeah, I could use that to secure, and then tried to pull together. Anyway, you're right. Yeah, I think
You
that
could have
makes
used it
sense.
to
Or
yeah, you could have used that to seize for your
yeah,
declare. Yeah.
or double declare keeper if it was possible. I forget how Tyrant
That
came out, but I'm sure. But yeah,
that would have been that's an even better like that
yeah,
imagine the gun
that
that would have been on
15
the table
points.
if
Yeah,
we would have had 15 points and you had all of the relics
yeah,
and
yeah.
and the only relic city. Like the only relic
Right.
cities on the map
They're
were
active.
yours.
Yep, yep, yep.
Um so just I'm not I think it can be like I said, I think this is a pretty common thing where people can overreact to that first declare and
Yeah,
kind of completely throw their whole strategy away to chase what someone else told them to chase
right.
instead of going, okay, that's cool. Everyone's going to be chasing Warlord. That means I will be able to score Relic. And honestly, psychologically, if I see a person with 6 relics or 5
You're not
relics,
even gonna bother. Yeah,
I'm
right.
not going to
Yeah,
bother really.
yeah,
Like with
yeah,
Ancient
yeah,
Holdings, like I'd need
yeah.
this one and
Oh,
both.
fear the ancient holdings. Yeah, now you see the power. Now you see
Now
the
I see the
power.
power.
I'll always have that one. No, that's 100% right. I love that analysis, and I think that that goes into what would be, if we have time, my outrage spreads about ambitions, because I think ambitions are like all. I love this game. I think we talk about how much we love this game. What makes it
It's okay.
really, yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah, we're just spending way too much time. I could take it. Uh, Ambitions are what really makes this game unique. Like everything is unique in how it's done in this game, but ambitions, the way they're done, I'm trying. I've asked people, like, I don't know any other game that's done exactly in this way, where the objectives are the only points you can get. There's no point salad or whatever, and the objectives are set by the players during the game each round. And I think the learning curve for arcs, for me at least, was one, understanding how the objectives work in terms of how you're actually going to score. But then the next level, I think, is what you're describing is, okay, just because like first level is, oh, objectives, this is how they get out. I'm going to get out an objective I can score in, I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to chase an objective I think I can take someone over in, I'm going to do it. But what you're not getting yet is or I did not get here, and it was a good example of, okay, I got to keep focused on the objective I want and make the numbers work to add up to the points I need. But that doesn't mean chase the biggest one, or, because you guys had 3 ships, right? It was 3 and 2, and Bubbles wasn't even in it yet. So it was like, you could go in it with I had like 6 ships. I could go blow up some stuff and get there. But I think Dan also came back really quickly with his ship somehow. But regardless, you're absolutely right, and that's the curve. Is like, don't chase. You have to now focus on not just the objective that's there, the shiny one. You got to find the ones you can get and make it add up. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I
Yeah.
think yep. And here
Well, I'm glad
we
we had
move
this talk. I think next time I'll make some different choices. Hopefully.
I yeah, I'm looking forward to when you say, "Richie, save this clip. We'll talk about it later." That'll be
Yeah.
good. That'll be a fun
I'm
that'll be a
saving the
fun
clip of
time.
where you admitted the power of ancient holdings. That's my clip.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Also, Dan has mentioned he wasn't 100% on this Warlord Declare. Um,
Oh,
I am feeling pretty happy about this Warlord Declare as white.
yeah,
Dan being yellow with the warrior declared Warlord first thing in this chapter. I'm also kind of liking that I saved this for kind of this context so that we're not just like snap cutting to the end of chapter 4 because
yeah,
spoilers, it does end this chapter. Um, but I'm kind of happy because I have a bunch of mobilization cards, a seize here in the 7 of aggression. I don't know what happens here. I don't know if anybody seized and a bunch of weapons. So I'm kind of like, oh, I can compete with this. And I have some ships, not a lot of ships, admittedly, but some ships on the board. Um, yeah, we don't really have an intermediary step of chapter 4, but this is how the game ended. Is there a different sound effect for the final?
Shoop.
There it is.
There.
Okay. Well, this is
So
the
yes,
final.
sorry. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Good.
This is the final breakdown. Uh, Yellow got first place in Tyrant with 5 captives. I got second with 4 captives. So we were kind of going back and forth. I wound up getting first place in Warlord. We'll talk about how I did that here in a second. You'll notice that these 2 cities are suspiciously missing, and these 2 ships are undamaged. So we'll talk about that. Dan, I just I just beat Dan out for Warlord. And then Keeper was Teal, actually, still. You still pulled out Keeper, which was amazing with Relic Fence. You got Relic Fence back and worked out great. And then Red got second place in Keeper. So this was the windup, and now we get into the Overseer's kind of role, which
Yeah.
is I was able to once per turn, when you tax any city or build a ship, you may hit the building to take the action again. If you destroy a loyal city, you provoke outrage and ransack the court, if applicable. And I was able to kill both of these cities here, ransack the court, and at least get 1 or 2 agents off
Right.
as captives from you. And so that was just without fighting, without rolling dice, without the randomness of self hits and everything else, intercepts. The overseer was just able to wipe out 2 of your cities
Oh, you did
without,
that without an attack. Oh, right. Yeah. 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 The ability. It's
because
hardcore.
I was just taxing. So that allowed me to get ultimately second
Right.
place in Tyrant,
Which
and
puts you,
first place in Warlord.
yeah, which that final score is super close all around. I mean, between
And
only
yeah, and
5
then
points difference between first and last, and second is right behind you. Like if you didn't have tyrant, if that tyrant was reversed, you'd be
mhm,
in the back. I
yep.
mean, you'd be second, um, and Dan would have won. And if keeper was reversed, which I was looking back at keeper, so to your point about setting the tone, like because I had 0 keeper, the second declare. So when you asked who seized, someone did seize. It was Bubbles, and Bubbles declared keeper because Bubbles had like a bunch of relics at that point because I had gotten rid of all the relics. So through taxing and whatnot, um, Bubbles got in the lead. So that it just set a weird dynamic that if I had like maintained the lead, it wouldn't have been as. I think the first thing they would, the Bubbles would have declared. But then as it comes out here, yeah, it's like if we had been in different places, Bubbles would have won. If I think I mean I'm not maybe I'm not doing the math exactly with the minuses and the pluses, but it would have switched like little things would have switched it all around for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, so it was a 1 point game
Nice.
ultimately, and the overseer was able to win. Um, I
And
think I
if
definitely lost. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that to your point when we talked about Elder earlier, you ransacked a lot, and I think Dan and maybe Bubbles did once or twice, but with the Elder, like if I had the Elder, you wouldn't have been able to get the card that I was on, and the agents that were on it. Like, not that this would be the exact scenario, but that's the type of things you need to think about when choosing your leader,
Hmm.
where I would have loved to not be ransackable, at this point in the game, because it really shifted things around.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're saying
Um,
at this point you thought what?
at this point, I did kind of like go end of chapter 4 at the last couple turns. I definitely kind of lost track of the game a little bit, I will say. Uh, Generally, I have a pretty good feel of like who's winning, or sometimes I'll take the time to like really math it out, but I generally don't do that. And this was a surprise to me. Like I was pretty shocked when
Yeah, you were.
those last couple cards came out, and I was able to uh, kill this city, get the like ultimately win Warlord. That was a surprise. But I mean, looking at it now, it's like, well, I shouldn't have been that surprised. I got, you know, um, I have one city, or I got the 2 extra points for Warlord with the city out, and I don't know. It shouldn't have been surprising, but I still was pretty surprised by how it all shook out.
Yeah, we did a great job, like staying, on top of the things and abilities your leader had, and used it well. And I mean, everyone did, throughout. So just such a great game. The other thing I would say, for whatever reason, I totally blanked on using my influence ability, where if you pivot or copy influence, you influence twice. Um, which I think the first round when I I lost all my agents in one chapter, I don't even think I could think about it because I was like, I'm not going back in the court at all if I can avoid it because I just keep losing people. But that's just another ability the noble has that's really cool that you should use if you're playing them. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, it was a really interesting, strange game, and like looking at the last board position, you're right. Dan's sort of all in the same area. Your ships have actually been kicked out mostly, but again, still pulled it out for the win. And then I'm all over the place,
Hmm.
and yeah, and Bubbles just has a couple pieces left. So chapter 5 would have been a mess. So it's good we ended it there.
Chapter 5 would have been a mess. That's true. Um, yeah. Any last thoughts for this game?
No, I think that was good. It's great to, I think, continue to learn and analyze kind of how you play a little bit and continue to improve on it. And I think like the thing for me is always the focus, and that's great. Um
Oh, we did kind of implement a timer. We had a timer going, but we
oh, the
didn't really
timers,
use it.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on
I
the
thought,
timer?
well, I think the timers are rigged, and uh, so so if we can fix it and get non-rigged timers, I'll be really happy. No, I thought
And
it
by
was good.
rigged, explain what you mean by rigged, because
By
maybe the
rigged, I
people
mean we
don't.
all had like 30 minutes or so allotted to us, and I by four, each the timer goes when your turn is on. Mine took the most time. But if you like hand it over to someone or you're talking, like, it doesn't discern, things like being charming. Like, you gotta factor that
Mm.
in, right? So but I it's good. I was worried though, because actually I kept watching it, and in the beginning mine was always going to be ahead, but mine and Dan's were actually far apart, and Dan was being like really efficient, and I was like, oh god, no. It's just because before it was me and Dan were the bad boys of time, the bad boys of time, but now it was going to be just me. But luckily Dan caught up. um I don't know how, but he did, and so I think we ended, well, I can tell you where we ended, but it
Well,
was, let's
you
see.
can't tell them where they ended because the time gets reset at some point.
No, I could
Uh,
tell you in the game. Oh, right. Oh, right. Okay, right. That's what I should have started with. Sorry. Let's ask me again about the time real quick.
what do you think about having the timer in the game?
Well, it's kind of hard because it got reset partway through, so it's like we'll never know,
Who's to
but
say?
maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Yeah,
There, that's my final answer.
going off of vibes. I mean, you felt like you were one of the fastest players, right?
I think I was. I think, did you see it? I think you should watch it next time, but I was definitely, one or two, top two.
Here, but on a more serious note, we are thinking about ways to implement a timer. It's not difficult to make. Someone said it's not. I think Matt actually said this. It's like it's not difficult to make a timer time stuff. It's how do we do it that makes the game the most interesting
Right.
to watch and play. So we're
Yeah.
experimenting with some different things. And if you have ideas, please let us know what they are. We also want to make it as simple as possible without any extra stuff going on.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things like that, but we're open to suggestions, and we would actually, I mean, if you suggest something, I can't guarantee that we'll play with it, but we're gonna play a couple different ways with the time clocks, and so we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Who, me? I thought I told you. What?
Well,
No, I'm
you
just
you
kidding.
don't
That's
really
all
you
right.
don't really need the time clock, Mango. It's not really for
That's
you,
right.
right?
It's not a problem. Right? Yeah. No, but as Tiger said, um, to anyone watching out there in the world, thank you. And but yeah, please let us know your thoughts and ideas. Some people have already pinged us on the Berry Giants Discord or in the comments in the YouTube page to let us know, hey, the camera's kind of wide. I can't see it on my show, like, or my TV. Like, how can we fix that? Or computer monitor, sorry, would be the modern term. Or, the timers, we want to make it fast so it's tight, but still allow for the gameplay to be relaxed and fun. Love having you guys watch, but yeah, please chime in as well as like and subscribe, as they say.
Like
I
and
don't know.
subscribe.
Do
Did
you,
the screen change when I stopped sharing? Was that okay that we're end this end screen here? Because I
yeah, yeah,
stopped
yeah,
sharing
yeah.
the
Now
screen.
it's just
Okay.
our heads. Yeah, right.
Just our talking heads? Okay,
Just our
perfect.
talking heads. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Um, take us out.
okay. First of all, seriously, check out the ambitions in this game because they're very unique. And actually, that's a challenge. Anyone can find ambitions that you select as a player in this way, like in a very discerned way, not like a random card draw, like Arc Nova, not that BS, like really challenged fighting for
Ho
ambitions. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'm
hold on.
not ranting. I'm just challenging people
No,
to
I'm just
put
saying,
in the
why is
comments.
Arc Nova is catching so many strays in this breakdown. You shit
I
out
said
on
that
Arc
once.
Nova.
Wait.
No, you've mentioned Arc Nova several times, and
Offline.
it's
Offline, I told you my
usually
arguments.
derogatory. I'm
Look,
just
it's a
saying.
zoo, people. Who wants to run a freaking zoo? And it's not even a cool zoo with like weird aliens. It's like a science zoo with like National Geographic posters and crap. Like save that for third grade. That's the type of game the third grade social studies teacher would bring out and be like, now we're gonna play Ark Nova and learn how to zoo with, and you'd play it and you'd be like, that's cute, but I'm gonna go play like Xbox. Like that's the level of game. Okay, that's sorry, you caught me. Anyway, not as a
I got him.
critique of Arc
I
Nova.
got him.
I
I got him, folks. I got
You
him.
got it, you caught it, banned, canceled for Arc Nova. No, but seriously, uh, I just want to challenge people because I would like to know like what ambitions or objectives are set by players competing with each other, not shooting strays at Arc Nova, but you get to add objectives to the pile with the I don't even know what's called with the brown cards, but but like set a raptor free or whatever, but it's kind of random and it's like you get to sneak it in. But this is like there's no points guaranteed for this round. We've had rounds that had no points. No points guaranteed at all. You can go a whole round without you can go 2 rounds without points. Someone's got to grab it and you all got to fight for it or you got to grab it and fight for it or vice versa. It's so interesting. That's my outrage spreads, but also a challenge to everyone. Please, what other game is like that? Because I'm really curious, to talk about that, but I don't know.
You have a lot of We're giving people a lot of homework here, and I
Yeah,
love
and
it.
Arc Nova's for nerds and not the cool kind of nerds like we are. It's like those National Geographic nerds with their stacks of National Geographic in their bedroom, like all the yellow binders lined up. It's
All right,
you know
Mango,
what I'm talking about. Okay,
uh,
that's
uh, I'm gonna go.
Wait, do
I
you have
will see
anything
you.
else to say?
No, I
Do
don't
you
have
have
anything
anything
else to
that
say.
you just gotta
I'll
get
see
out
you
of
on
here? Okay.
Monday, and I will see you next week.
Goodbye, world. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
world. We'll see you
world.
next week.
All right, let me just goodbye, world. That's the way to go.